Hello and welcome to episode 112 of the DJ Force 10 podcast. My very special guests this week are a band out of Jacksonville, Florida. They're called Gold Frankincense Myrrh. They are a female trio of sisters who are making real sort of hard rock metal songs. Really, they actually kind of like. I don't say this too often. It surprised me because I saw images first. Obviously, never judge a book by its cover, but they were kind of like all in cheerleader attire and everything like that. And you kind of instantly think bubblegum, kind of pop punk. But no, these women are bringing it. And I urge you to go check them out. They've got a new single out called I Don't Need Your Fantasy, but they've got plenty of back catalogue as well. Last year they released Oh the Horror, which was an EP. They also released an acoustic EP, so they can hit you on both fronts, which is amazing. But it was absolutely brilliant speaking to them. They're a fantastic bunch, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Please check out all the music that I am putting your way of these musicians, because at the moment everyone's stuck at home, and you never know, you might discover something new. I certainly did with this lot. They're fantastic. So I hope you guys enjoy the interview, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye. So, welcome to my show today. We have Gold Frankincense Myrrh. We have CJ, Maggie, and Lulu. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Hello!
How are you all doing today?
Doing pretty good.
We're good. Just doing school.
Yeah.
Making some band merch mail outs, but yeah, just the regular stuff.
Staying inside.
Stay inside.
Yeah, stay inside. Yep, it's the same all around the world at the moment. So, yes. Well, at least you're keeping busy. That's good. So, you've got plenty to do. So, we'll talk about your band. You've you released a new single, I Don't Need Your Fantasy. When was that released?
We released that in January.
January.
I think it was
Yeah. Cool. So I did have January written down here, but I wasn't 100% sure. If we could get some background on you guys, because obviously I'm talking to you from England, and we don't know too much about, a lot of my listeners probably don't know too much about you here. So I was wondering if we can get a kind of a background type, the story so far of GFM.
Yeah, we started. Oh shoot! It's like we like to say since birth because we're all sisters.
Yep.
But officially, it's like GFM touring. Let's do this thing. Since 2016, I would say.
Because it was just more like a hobby. Because we were really, really young when we started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're obviously still really young now.
I was going to say you're still young now.
Like not even old enough to play some of the bars and stuff, and like there was complications like getting into venues and having to sell our merch outside of the venue because we weren't allowed to stay in the venue. So like around 2016, 2017, they started to be like more okay with us going into venues. So we started like actually touring and everything. So we've been touring like for like 4-ish years now.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. And what sort of reception are you getting at the moment? Because I've listened to your music and it's like a really good like hard rock, punk rock sort of sound. And it's really, I'm really enjoying it, to be honest with you, because I hadn't heard of you before, and I'm surprised I didn't, because I always kind of look for like sort of female fronted bands, if you will, or bands with females in, because I have my family, my kids and everyone, they're all girls, and I always look for sort of like groups that will kind of empower them, if you will. There's like groups like Hailstorm and obviously Paramore, stuff like that I've sort of got them listening to. And you have now made that list.
Yeah, sweet. It's really just kind of cool to be able to bridge that gap, because we do have like a lot of like females that come up to us and tell us that they didn't know they could listen to metal music, which is, we were kind of in the same boat when we were younger. We weren't told we couldn't. We just didn't. It's kind of just like, oh, that's something music, that's a genre. And so we get a lot of girls, young and old, that come up to us and say, I didn't know I was allowed to like listen to this. I didn't know there was females that did this. And so it's really cool to see that like people, all genders coming and ages, and
it's really just bridging the gap between like not even just like guys and girls, but also like boyfriends are bringing their girlfriends, and like we can finally bond over music together, and like parents are bonding with their children now. They're like, we finally have something in common.
Yeah, that's the coolest thing, to see like a parent and their kid come and sing the songs and have our t-shirts and everything, because I mean, we have that with our parents. We have certain bands that we all listen to, so the fact that we are that band for other families is really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Where would you say your influences lie? Because like you say, I mean, like I've sort of described you sort of hard punk rock, but there is that sort of like metal element to it. So what sort of bands were you listening to?
So like for the melody part, like where it's not screaming, we definitely were really like into Paramore for a while.
And the Day to Remember.
And the Day to Remember, yeah. Just cool. They do a lot of like the tie-in punk and hard rock and metalcore type thing.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
That was really a big inspiration. And then like stage-wise, we were really into like Butcher Babies because they were really into the heaviness.
Yeah.
Also, Motionless in White and
like Lacey Sturm.
333. Yeah. Just all of their stage presence.
Yeah.
Because we think that putting on, like when you come to a show, we want to put on a show.
Yeah.
And you can just listen to our music if you put in the CD or pull it up on iTunes, Spotify. And so when you come to a show to come see us, we want it to be an experience that you can remember.
Yeah.
And so that next time you do put in the CD, you get that playthrough of us on stage and rocking out and having fun. And so having a big stage presence has always been a top thing of like, we want to put on a show. And so just going and seeing those bands or seeing those bands on YouTube and everything they do,
like studying them,
it inspires us to like, how can we put on a better show? Especially Day to Remember. They have a fantastic show, and so
like phenomenal like stage effects as well as their performance.
Us and our parents, we watch it and we're like, all right, we can do this, and how can we do this on maybe right now a lower scale, but how can we still do it?
Yeah. No, that's cool. That is awesome. In fact, no, I sort of on doing research for this, I did view some of the sort of live videos you had online and in your banner on your Facebook page. In fact, it's got a lot of you guys playing live, and you certainly do have a big presence on that stage. You have a lot of the tricks and stuff like that that a lot of the bands have, but you certainly like for the way you look and what you play, it's quite deceiving. If that makes sense. Like obviously you are young, so you do have that for you, but it's certainly kind of like, I think, you know, looking at you initially, I thought, oh, maybe it's like kind of like the bubblegum kind of pop punk, if you will. But I was totally blown away by what I heard, especially I mean, I listened to the new single to start with. And that's fantastic. And I went back and I listened to your acoustic EP just to sort of see if you can do it on the acoustic part, and you can, which is also good. So you've got like a good sort of like double like shot there with that. And I listened to the Horror EP you released last year as well. Which was again, it was really good. I don't know where you guys have been hiding. So it's one of those things where I can listen to a band and think, you know what, that's gonna, you know, you get the right people behind you and it will take you places. Like obviously you've already been outside the US. I saw on your bio you've been to like Germany and things. So, but no, it definitely will take you places. And it's quite exciting, really, because I always like to sort of discover these like groups like yourselves and sort of see what makes you guys tick. But what are your obviously future plans at the moment? They're kind of it's a difficult question with everything that's going on and everything that's been cancelled. But what are your plans when it comes to sort of writing another album?
Well, we do we do have music kind of like in our backlog, kind of.
Yeah. And just deciding when to release it right now.
Yeah, we do have a single projected to release very soon. That one's still on its schedule. We just don't know when we're going to put out the entire project. We're just kind of like waiting things out because we were planning for like summer type release, but
because that's when we were going to do our summer tour
with all the festivals and stuff.
Yeah, the festivals, but who knows what's going to happen with that? But
so it's just kind of waiting it out. But we do have new music, we do have it. So
yeah, the new stuff is definitely the heaviest we've ever gone. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah, we had the privilege of working with Joey Sturgis, and he was a co-producer on the project. So that was just like
okay,
real thing too. Just be like, oh my word, like, we used to listen to all your bands, and now we're one of them.
like you're saying, the producing and the people behind you have definitely pushed us into what we've always dreamed of, like producing out and putting out for everyone to listen to. Like when I think 2018 is when we met Eric, or 2017?
2018.
Yeah, 2018 was Eric Varnell, and we met him through a friend. And we were just writing, and we feel like we haven't found our sound yet. And then we wrote Never Again off the Horror EP. And that was the first song we wrote with him. And we were like, oh my goodness, this is what we've always wanted. This is the push, the energy, the excitement of a song to play. And we just started writing from there. And and then we met with Billy Decker, who was his partner at the time, and that's who put out Oh the Horror. And then we met with Joey, and it just keeps getting better and better, and we're just super excited and super grateful for the people who have just believed in us since day one and want to see us succeed. So that's definitely a big factor, and we just couldn't thank them enough.
So that's awesome. I mean, when you sort of like started out initially, what were the were your parents, obviously your parents were behind you, but were they helping you as well?
Oh yeah, we couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, they still,
they're biggest motivators.
Yeah, our mom actually drives our bus and is our manager, and so she's kind of we're like, you can't leave, Mom.
Yeah,
my dad's really into special effects, so anytime he can like fly out to a show or come on the road with us, he's like running all the lights and all the fog machines and stuff. So he's super into that, and like figuring out what new effects and stuff. He's like trying to convince us to get the screens and stuff. We're like, Dad,
oh my goodness,
I don't know if we can have the screens right now. He's just always looking for like bigger and better like special effects type things.
Yeah, they're like the best cheerleaders we could have. But
that's awesome. That is awesome.
Even more supportive as the years have gone.
Yeah. No, that's excellent. That's a lot of like. I mean, when I was in a band when I was younger, and I used to get driven to practice. I used to obviously use my parents' money, things like that, to pay for certain like things for like instruments and whatnot, which I still have now. To be honest with you, they're still working, and I still have them. I still maintain them, so they've more than paid for themselves. But we're talking like 20 years ago, by the way. I was just curious. What sort of like label support have you got at the moment? Are you on your own label, or are you with anyone in particular?
Right now, we're actually independent, and our dad, he is financially supports us, so we're super grateful for him working so that we can do what we do. So we're just staying independent as long as God wants us to, and when he brings something our way that we see fit, then things probably will change then. But...
No, that's awesome. I mean, you're doing it all on the independent stage, and like you're like with the production value you've got on your music alone, that's amazing on an independent scale, because you kind of, and you've got, like you say, you're working with Joey Sturgis and whatnot, and that in itself is amazing as well. And if the Warped Tour was still around, I guarantee you guys would be on it. So
I know sad days when it stopped.
I was living down in St. Pete, and it was the last year, and it was like the day before I actually left Florida to come back to England, and I actually got a press pass for it as well, and I was so gutted I couldn't go, because we had to do a lot of packing and a lot of stuff started to happen at last moment.
I thought you were going to say you went.
No, I didn't. I really wanted to. Obviously, I really wanted to, but I was just like, it was going to be my last like blowout before we left, and I was going to interview a whole bunch of bands and stuff like that. But unfortunately, it just all fell through, which was a shame. But
they go so many more years without it. They'll make something.
Yeah, I know they're going to do a couple of things. I think they're sort of scaling it back, I believe, and doing other things. But hopefully, if that sort of thing kicks off again, then you guys will definitely be on it. I would have thought you're definitely kind of band that would do well on that, and I think you guys would thrive off something like that as well. Just sort of like getting that energy out there every day, and doing all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've got a couple of questions left for you ladies, and then I'll let you get on with the rest of your day. So what we've got is basically, this is a question for each one of you individually. You can answer it together if you want, but it's basically what I want to get is your 3 albums that have really influenced you in your life so far. It's quite a big question, I know, and you are young, so it's not that far to think back. But what bands, what groups, what albums, what really influenced you over the years?
Oh goodness, that's a lot. I think I have like 2 off the bat, so I can't remember what it's called though. Whatever album Flyleaf did, where like the I'm So Sick and
I was gonna say
those songs. That album was really influential, and
because that's what made Maggie start screaming.
Actually, I have my third.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Motionless in White album that, what was it called? The Reincarnate was on that one.
I think it was called Reincarnate.
I think it's in here somewhere. I have like a collection of vinyls, and they're like all right there. Reincarnate was the one, I think. Because Creatures was the other one. But I think that one's called Reincarnate. Yeah. That one's really influential.
Oh, and your Word Alive one.
Oh, yeah, like the really old The Word Alive. Was it called Real? Or Life Cycles?
Right there. Yeah.
Oh, you like Life Cycles too, but...
Either Life Cycles or Real by The Word Alive. Those are really influential too, because I was just like finding out there was different ways you could scream. And like really old Over the Horizon too. That was like, I used to love that.
So, I think it's called Meteor by Linkin Park.
Cool.
And then, oh man, okay, the Day to Remember one that looks like the I Prevail.
I can't remember what that one's called.
Okay, the Day to Remember one that has like the purple and blue, and then the I Prevail, is it self-titled?
It might be self-titled. We're really bad with album names.
That's all right.
That has Stuck in Your Head.
That was a good one, yeah. That one might be self-titled.
And I would say I would agree with like all those, especially like the Lacey Stern one. What was it? When we were really little, because I was thinking of the Waking Alive, and the other band We As Human. When we were really little, first starting out, those songs, because those were the first concerts we ever went to. Cool. They definitely like impacted us and just always stood there. And yeah.
Okay, cool. No, they're all good. I like to write these things down so I can go back and check them out. I mean, most of those I know. I have, in fact. I've got them on CD or vinyl or something around here. But yeah, I haven't heard Flyleaf in a long time. So I'm going to have to go back and listen to them guys. And yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you for that. And finally, what are your hobbies away from music? So when you're not out performing, writing, or doing your merch or anything like that, what do you guys do?
We have a lot of the same interests.
Yeah, we're very much like the same person.
Yeah. So we love watching shows, whether that's like something on Netflix or anime, or
we definitely love anime.
Literally, like we have a lot of interest in TV or movies and shows, and so
things like sci-fi movies and that kind of thing.
We all like painting and drawing, and video games is a big one.
We love like the shooter games like COD.
We're really big into like
Apex,
zombie games.
Apex.
I like. We just played Hollow Knight for the first time, and it's just like our dad was watching. He's like, "This is like Mega Man and Mario put together." He's like, "I love this game." Like, we're playing it forever.
We love cooking and baking, and then we also just love to, when we are home, we love to just chill with each other and our family, because when we're out on the road, our dad can't always come, and our brother, a lot of people don't know we have an older brother, and we don't always get to hang out with them. So when we're home, we like to just hang out with each other and swim, or just really just sit with each other. Sometimes we'll just sit there and talk. So.
Sometimes we'll go driving, go to a gas station, get an icy.
That is our favorite hobby right now. Every week, the gas station that's by our house and get an icy and snacks.
So no one's there, so we just like go get in and get out, and like we'll stay 6 feet away from you. Just let us get our icy and we'll be good.
That's been a new hobby. So.
Cool, excellent. Well, CJ, Maggie, Lulu, thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Good luck with all your future endeavors and whatnot. You've got a new fan right here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us and letting us talk and share our story.
Excellent. Well, have a good rest of your day. All right.
You too.
Bye.